On quiet nights in the high valley, when the moon slipped softly across the ridges, shepherds whispered one tale more than any other. A tale about a boy whose courage was gentler than the breeze, and a wolf whose eyes glowed like cold stars. A tale of fear, trust, loss, and a bond that changed the valley forever. Tonight, you will drift into that valley, slowly like mist rolling over the grass, and listen to the story the mountains still keep. Let your eyes grow heavy, and let us begin. High in the north, cradled between two ancient mountain chains, lay the Valley of Whispering Pines. The people of the valley often said the wind carried memories through the pine needles, soft murmurs of stories long forgotten. The valley was peaceful, almost dreamlike, and for generations, shepherds tended their flocks across its rolling green slopes. Among these shepherds lived a 12-year-old boy named Eiran. Eiran was small, with hair the color of burnt straw, and eyes like deep forest ponds. He was quiet, thoughtful, and gentler than most children his age. While other boys wrestled or raced, Eiran preferred to sit with his sheep, humming old valley tunes as he watched the clouds drifting lazily across the sky. He lived with his grandfather, old Marek, a man weathered like cracked leather from decades of wind and sun. Marek had once been the bravest shepherd in the valley, a man who could face down bears, blizzards, and wolves. But age had bent his back and softened his bones. He now relied on Eiran more than he was willing to admit. Every dawn, just before the sun painted the sky pink, Eiran gently woke his dozing flock and guided them toward the northern meadows. These meadows stretched for miles, dotted with wildflowers and crossed by streams so clear they looked like threads of melted glass. But beyond the meadow lay the wilder grove forest, a thick, shadowy land where shepherds never dared to go. Wolves lived there, long-legged, sharp-teethed, and hungry. For many years, the wolves had stayed inside the forest, rarely troubling the valley. People said the wolf packs kept to themselves because of an unspoken agreement, a silent peace between wild beasts and the shepherd clans. But peace never lasts forever, and Eiran's story began on a late autumn morning when the first frost turned grass silver and a strange stillness lingered in the air, as if the valley was holding its breath. Eiran had taken his sheep deeper into the northern meadow that day. The sunlight was soft, golden, warm, and the flock grazed lazily, their bells chiming like tiny lullabies. Eiran leaned against a boulder, enjoying the calm, until one of the sheep, a small ewe named Lyra, lifted her head sharply. Her ears twitched. She bleated nervously. Eiran sat up. "What is it, girl?" Then he heard it. A soft crunch, another, and then a faint rustle from the line of pines marking the edge of the wilder grove. Eiran's heart thumped. Something was watching them. The flock clustered together, uneasy. Eiran picked up the wooden staff Marek had carved for him. It wasn't much of a weapon, but it made him feel braver. "Show yourself," he whispered. For a long moment, nothing happened. Then, silently, like a shadow being pulled out of the forest, a wolf stepped into the meadow. Not a gray wolf like the valley sometimes spoke of. No, this one was different. Its fur was snow white, glowing faintly beneath the morning sun, and its eyes were a deep amber, warm yet piercing. The wolf moved with quiet confidence, each step measured, each breath calm. Eiran felt the world slow. The wolf was beautiful. Wild, yes, but not threatening. It didn't snarl or stalk. It merely sat, watching him, its tail curled around its paws. Eiran swallowed. "You're not here to eat us, are you?" The wolf blinked slowly, as if answering, "No, not today." Something inside Eiran softened. He lowered his staff. The wolf tilted its head. Minutes passed, the valley silent except for the rustling breeze. Then, without warning, the wolf stood, glanced once more at Eiran, and slipped back into the trees, vanishing as quietly as it had appeared. When Eiran brought the sheep home that evening, he expected his grandfather to laugh at the tale. Instead, old Marek froze. "A white wolf?" he whispered. "And you're certain?" Eiran nodded. Marek exhaled slowly, sinking onto a wooden stool. "Then the old stories are waking again." "What stories?" "The White One, the Watcher of the Forest, a guardian, or a warning." Eiran fell asleep that night with the wolf's amber eyes burning gently in his memory. Something told him this was only the beginning.
Within 3 days, everything changed. The peaceful valley awoke to chaos. Sheep missing, goats torn, and shepherds whispering fearfully about movement in the night. Tracks, deep tracks, wolf tracks, but they didn't match the white wolf. These were heavier, deeper, belonging to a larger pack. Soon rumors spread like wildfire. "Wolves have broken the peace. They're starving. They'll come for us next. We must form hunts." The Valley Council met in panic. Shepherds sharpened spears and carried torches, and for the first time in years, fear settled into every hearth. Eiran watched quietly, his heart aching. The white wolf, he felt deep inside, had nothing to do with these attacks. But who would believe him? He was only a boy. That night he couldn't sleep. The cold wind slipped through the cracks of the cottage, but something else kept him awake. An uneasy feeling, a call. Just before dawn, he rose and walked quietly to the meadow. The valley was silent. Mist drifted across the grass like ghostly ribbon. Eiran waited, breath held. And there, right at the edge of the trees, sat the white wolf. It stepped forward slowly, calmly, unafraid. Eiran felt no fear either. He felt trust. "Are you trying to tell me something?" Eiran whispered. The wolf turned its head toward the forest, deeper, darker, then looked back at him. "Come." Eiran understood. Without telling a soul, he followed the wolf into the wilder grove. Inside the forest, the air grew colder. The trees stood tall like ancient guardians, their bark rough, their shadows long. Eiran kept close to the wolf, who moved silently but never hurried. After nearly an hour of walking, they reached a hollow beneath a massive pine. The wolf stopped and looked down. At first, Eiran saw nothing. Then he knelt, and his heart broke. In the hollow lay a wounded wolf pup, thin and barely breathing. Its leg was caught in a rusted metal trap. Eiran gasped. Who would put such a thing here? The white wolf lowered its head, nudging the pup gently. A soft whine escaped its throat, a sound filled with pain and helplessness. Suddenly, it made sense. The wolves attacking the valley were not hunting for cruelty. They were desperate, driven by hunger, driven by fear, driven by the loss of their young. Eiran moved closer. "Let me help." The white wolf watched him carefully, but didn't stop him. Hands trembling, Eiran gently worked the trap open. The metal teeth unlatched with a sharp click. The pup whimpered softly. Eiran tore strips from his cloak and wrapped the tiny leg. When he finished, the white wolf nudged his hand. "A thank you." Eiran whispered, "I'll come again tomorrow. I'll bring food." For the first time, the wolf's eyes softened. But peace was short-lived. As Eiran stood, he heard voices far behind him, angry, loud, echoing through the trees. "Tracks! Look, here! Shepherd's boy's been taken!" Eiran's heart seized. The valley hunters. If they found the white wolf or the pup. Eiran shook his head. "Stay hidden. I'll stop them." He sprinted toward the voices, emerging from the trees just as a group of armed men approached. "Eiran, what in the world are you doing here?" I heard something. Thought a sheep was lost." Marek grabbed him by the shoulders, trembling. "You scared me half to death, boy." The hunters found no wolves that day, and that night, when Eiran returned home, he felt the weight of a secret heavier than stone.
For a week, Eiran visited the white wolf and the pup every dawn, bringing meat, herbs, and soft cloths. Slowly, the pup healed. The white wolf seemed calmer too, almost peaceful. But wolf attacks on the valley still continued, and the people grew more furious. Eiran realized why. Another wolf pack, led by a large, scarred alpha, had split from the white wolf's group. They hunted recklessly, threatening both humans and wolves. War in the valley was building. The council finally declared, "Tomorrow at dusk we hunt. We end this." That night, Eiran couldn't breathe. He ran to the forest, tears brimming his eyes. The white wolf met him in the clearing, its fur glowing faintly under the moonlight. "They're coming," Eiran whispered. "Not just men, but the scarred alpha too. You must hide." The white wolf looked into his eyes, and suddenly Eiran understood. The white wolf was not afraid of death. It was afraid for its pack, for the pup, for the valley it had silently protected for years. Eiran knelt slowly. "Let me help. Tell me what to do." The wolf turned its head slightly, leading him deeper into the forest until they reached a cliff overlooking the valley. Below, the scarred alpha wolf was gathering its pack. The white wolf stepped forward and howled, a long, beautiful, echoing cry, a challenge. The alpha answered. The fight was inevitable. But before the packs clashed, Eiran ran forward, shouting from the cliff, "Stop!" His voice echoed down like thunder. The wolves hesitated. So did the shepherd hunters approaching from the other side. Eiran raised both hands. "Everyone here is scared, and fear is killing us more than teeth or claws." The valley fell into stunned silence. Eiran turned toward the hunters. "The wolves attacked because they are starving, because we trapped their young. We started this without knowing. Not all wolves want war." Then he faced the wolves. "And not all humans are your enemies." The scarred alpha snarled. The white wolf stepped between Eiran and the pack. Then, in the quiet of that moonlit night, the white wolf bowed its head to the shepherd boy, a gesture older than the valley itself, a sign of trust. The alpha hesitated, growled, then slowly turned away, leading its pack back into the deeper forest. A peace, fragile but real, settled over the valley. The hunters lowered their weapons. Eiran fell to his knees in relief, and the white wolf approached him, touching its forehead gently to his. A bond formed, stronger than fear, stronger than old stories. a bond that would be remembered for generations. Years later, when Eiran grew into a calm, wise young man, people from across the valley spoke of the boy who ended the wolf wars. Some said he had magic. Some said he spoke the language of animals. But the truth was far simpler. He listened. He cared. He trusted when others only feared. The white wolf was seen many times afterward, always at a distance, always watching over the valley. And when its pup grew old enough to run with the wind, villagers often spotted two white shapes at dusk racing across the ridgeline, protectors of the whispering pines. The valley remained peaceful for decades, and the tale of the shepherd boy and the wolf became a bedtime legend, told softly, slowly, lovingly, just like